share something that really works for me during times of stress. And even though I've worked on my money mindset and my financial journey, I tend to still have some stress and anxiety around finances. And for me, the thing that works the best is to take breaks, and specifically just taking time in nature, going for hikes or a walk, just to get your mind off of some of those worrisome thoughts. And just there's something about nature that's very healing. It's like you're suddenly, hiking in the woods, and it just feels like you're taken care of, you're safe. And it can actually help you to make more rational decisions and to look at things like debt differently. So I think it's, just finding what works for you. And that's one thing that's been extremely helpful for me personally. I don't know if either of you might have something that you've done to manage financial or debt stress that's really helped you out.
I think what you said is so important. Just because it's money stress doesn't mean that the stress management strategies have to be something specific to money, right? So if going for hikes and spending time in nature helps you feel calmer, this is a good time to utilize that. If meditation is something that works for you, if, sometimes this is a really random thing, but sometimes I just need to watch TV that requires no thought from my brain at all, right? And that is a way that I can check out for an hour and just kind of let my body can relax. I stop thinking about things. And that is a way for me to also kind of reset. So don't lose sight of all those regular stress management tools that work for you. I think the biggest problem for me, whether it's financial or any other stress, is remembering to use a tool, right? I'm like, I can feel myself getting all worked up, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, Jen, you have 7 things that help you feel calmer, right? So use one of those tools. And I think that's also the big message from us here is stress management, whether it's for money or something else, requires us to remember the mindset that we're in and pull a tool from our toolbox and use it to help us kind of manage those feelings.
You're absolutely right. I find the exact same thing. That's why I practice meditation every day. But when I'm in high stress, meditation is hard. And I'm like, well, this is why I have to practice every day. This is why I get out into nature every single day. And when you're in that stress, I'm like, what do I do? You're in it. And it's like, once I get out to that walk, it's like, but it's incredible how hard it is to get out of that stressed situation into that more recovery mode, right? Which we all need to do. One thing I like to do in my weekly schedule is I have, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, is I have every Friday, I spend a half an hour to an hour, depends. Sometimes I do also a little bit more on the weekends, but around money. And so it helps relieve my stress because I know every Friday in my schedule, I'm going to be doing something about money. I'm going to be learning about money. I'm going to be working on paying off my debt. I'm going to be something about money. It doesn't matter what, and then you can have a specific plan or not. But just for me, having that time carved out is really, really helpful in reducing my stress because I know I'm going to pay bills on Friday. I'm going to do whatever I want to do on Friday. I don't have to keep cognitive space worried about money as much because I know I have a spot for it in my schedule. So that relieves a lot of stress for me.
I really like that, Sybil. And when Jen was mentioning kind of looking at your toolkit of things that you can use to help reduce stress, I have this tactic where I have a list, I have a note on my phone, and I have a list of things I can do instead of spending money. But that can also be applied to things you can do instead of worrying about money or, stressing about money. And it's just really listing out those things that calm you or get you focused on something else. And it's, because in the moment we don't remember, and it's just having that handy list of, oh, I can watch a movie, or I can, organize a closet, whatever it is that kind of takes your brain off of money stress. It's just, a great thing to have handy. I work with a lot of clients, and debt is probably the thing that people feel the most shame over. It's decisions they've made in the past that they're still, that are still impacting them financially today. So it can be really filled with a lot of like fear of judgment, where you think that everyone else is doing better than you are. Your neighbors, your friends, they all have an easier time financially. And often that isn't true. And one of the best ways to kind of get support when you're feeling that way is to have a mentor. So that could be someone that has personally paid off, their own debt and is just a little further along on the journey than you are. And that person can be really helpful in just having regular connections, whether that's by phone or a quick coffee meetup, just to talk about different strategies and to keep you on track, because we are more likely to meet our goals if we're speaking to someone about it. So that can be that very informal arrangement. And otherwise, you can do a more formal arrangement and actually hire someone that is your accountability partner, that is checking up on you, that is helping you to track your debt payment progress, and keeping you on track with the goals that you've set. So I wanted to share that as being something that's really helpful, because often paying off debt is a long journey, and it's made easier when you have support and someone to talk to, especially as roadblocks happen, which in life they tend to.